Welcome to another video. We are gonna simulate this simple gripper within CATIA V5 DMU Kinematics. So to get started, I highly encourage that you follow along. You can download the file over here. You will see the link within the video description. So I already have that file downloaded. I will drag it and drop it over here. And as we can see, the file will load like this. So it's not aligned to, let's say, the general axis of CATIA. That means if I'm gonna go over here to the cube, go for the top view, the orientation will be like this. So in order to calibrate this and have it rotated, we can select everything, go over here on the red dot on the compass, right click, afterwards go to snap automatically to select the objects. And now if I will do a selection, we're gonna see that this compass will snap automatically. And we see that the rotation axis will be this one. And that means I'm gonna grab that and I will rotate this all the way to 90 degrees. And afterwards, I will also rotate it on the U and W axis to have it positioned like this. As we can see, there are still some elements that are not aligned, so we can enter the exact values. I'm gonna right click on the red dot, go to edit, and we're gonna have the absolute coordinates over here. So I will set the angle for X to be 90, 0 for Y, and 180 for Z. And this will be the rotation. As we can see, now I can no longer see the depth of the gripper. So that means this is properly aligned to the camera. But at the same time, the gripper is slightly misaligned. We can now use the rotation increments. So over here on the bottom right side of the screen. If I will click on this, we're gonna see that this will rotate the compass around its V-axis with this value. So in this case is 5 degrees. So I will slightly rotate this until the gripper will be positioned like this. Now, for this gripper, I intentionally made the components not to be aligned in order to have, let's say, a good practice example how we can do that. So I'm gonna jump to assembly design because we can align the elements over there. Within DMU Kinematics, we are gonna simulate them. So go over here to start, mechanical design, assembly design. And I will make these two gripper ends to be at the same level. That means we can use the coincidence constraint. Afterwards, I'm gonna select the bottom surface. So we're gonna have this plane with this one. And we're gonna see how this part will be moving to position in order to have the same orientation. Click OK, and we're gonna see that those are now aligned, but the problem is that everything over here is no longer aligned. So again, using the same constraint, we're gonna add a constraint between this section and the other one. So I started from the middle and afterwards with this one in order to have that moved. Repeat the same command. For me, I will press Ctrl and Y since this will redo the last function. We're gonna see that CATIA Assistant will say that this function works with the active component. We see over here blue product. Okay, I will just add this not to prompt in the future, and we can just start aligning our components. Again, press Ctrl and Y. This will redo the last command in CATIA, and we are just gonna have those positioned. Okay, over here the same coincidence. We see that that is considered to be redundant. Therefore, we just need to add this one. We see that that moved the plate. So I'm gonna go from the plate to this one. If I'm gonna go the opposite way, it will still be the same. I will just fix the plate in this case. So go for the anchor, fix component, and afterwards redo the coincidence. and this will move these elements closer to the base. And afterwards we're gonna see that these are already centered, so it's not required to do an additional alignment. Now that we have the gripper better aligned, we are gonna go and we are gonna define the mechanism. We could use the automatic generation that will transform constraints to joints, but in this case CATIA won't be able to do that, and let's see exactly how that works and why it won't be able. I will go to Start, Digital Mockup, DMU Kinematics, and we have the possibility to use the assembly constraint conversion, which will open this section, and we need to define a mechanism, so that's the first step. New mechanism. I will let this to be mechanism 1, hit OK, and now we're gonna see the constraints over here. I will use the auto create button. We see that currently, based on the constraints for this side of the gripper, we're gonna have a total number of 8 joints. I'm gonna click on auto create, and afterwards, if I will expand this mechanism, we're gonna see that our mechanism has a degree of freedom of 12, so it cannot be simulated until it reaches 0. The fixed part, this was managed by CATIA, and we see that we have the fixed component, so that's properly defined for this component. We see the naming, but for the joints, we're gonna see that CATIA, since we made use of cylindric axis, coincidence between those, it considered that it requires some cylindrical joints. And I will just delete those because they are not well defined. We're gonna see that by deleting those, also the constraints will be deleted. And yes, I will also delete those. I want to delete all children. So each of those constraints integrate various constraints over here. So each of those cylindrical joints integrate constraints. Have those all deleted. And now we're gonna have the fixed part. This is well defined. And we're gonna start working our way from the fixed part toward the other side. So the first joint that we're gonna define will be a gear joint. If for some reason you don't find it over here, you can go at the top, insert new joint, gear joint. We're gonna see that the gear joint in CATIA is defined by 2 revolute joints. So we see revolute joint 1 and 2, and we are gonna start defining those. I will click on create over here. Afterwards, just like for revolute, we will need to define the axis. So the first axis will be for the base. So I will move my mouse over here where we have the cutout of the base. Keep that in mind. And for the second axis will be over here for the gear. We know that this is the base, this is the height of the gear, this is the height of the top component. So I will click over here. Afterwards, I need to specify the plane where that revolute will happen. I will select the top surface of this, and now I will need to select the bottom face of the gear. So I will just hide and show that. Go at the bottom, swap visible space, rotate, select the bottom, send the object back, return to the view, to the normal view. And you can check over here with null offset, we're gonna see that will be 0. That means that those two don't have any distance between those. So click on OK. We're gonna create the second one, so the second revolute will be the same workflow. So axis with axis, and now the surface where that action will happen. I will choose now the top side of the face, and over here I will choose the top side of the gear. And I will just have this offsetted, and CATIA will automatically measure this, the height of the gear, which will be 50 millimeters. So we can do an offset in this case if you don't want to hide and show everything. Afterwards, I'll click on OK. And now we need to specify the ratio. In this case will be -1, and the rotation will be 1. Opposite. Afterwards, we need to define which will be the angle driven. So either the first revolute, we're gonna have the movement from this area, from this right gear, or from the left gear if I will choose over here. I will go for the first gear that we defined, angle driven revolute for this one, hit on OK. We're gonna see that now the mechanism can be simulated. That means we can go to simulation, select the mechanism, and we can have that rotated. And we're gonna see that those gears will rotate as intended. And now we can start working our way with revolute joints up to the end of the gripper. That means I'm gonna select revolute joint, and we're gonna select the axis of the gear, the axis of the top component. If you want to, we can select exactly that surface where the movement will happen. So we are not gonna use the offset, but it's up to you. If you want, you can use the offset. It will, let's say, be faster, as we can see. Now, as soon as I linked this gear and the top element twice, we see that now the mechanism can be simulated again. When we only had the first revolute generated, we had a degree of freedom over here. So just as a reference, I will delete this. We're gonna see degree of freedom 1. That means we cannot simulate the mechanism. So we don't gonna have that slider until we're gonna fix that degree of freedom. To fix that degree of freedom, we are just gonna have that revolute created. So I just press on the redo button in order to have that recreated. And we're gonna continue with the same workflow. So axis for another revolute between the top component and the middle one. I'm gonna rotate to the bottom, do the same over here as well. I'm just gonna go with the offset. I encourage you to go with the hide and show. Especially if you are just learning, it's better to select exactly that null offset. For example, like this. It's, let's say, best practice to not use offsets for your simulations, only when, let's say, it's faster. But it's usually a good idea to have those defined exactly where they will happen. So we had that defined. Let me redo the last one. So this one with this one, the area where that will happen will be this one. As you can see, it went okay, so we didn't have any error. The following one for the end, it will be that surface with null offset. The same at the bottom, revolute axis, surface. And we see that we still have a degree of freedom of 3 that can be fixed by just simply making the end of the gripper to be rigid to this component, or the bottom one. So I'm gonna go over here for rigid joint, select the element, select the one that we already linked, and now we're gonna see that we're gonna receive this a joint has already been defined between those two elements. That means we already have that that revolute added over here between those two, and it won't allow us to make it rigid towards that. Therefore, we can make it rigid, for example, to the base. You're gonna see that now this will have too many commands. So that is not an option as well. So let me just see how many revolutes do we have. We still have to link this, and we're gonna go back to that in a second. Select that with that, afterwards the offset. We see that now the degree of freedom went all the way to 0. So it's only this component that is not fully defined. And for this, usually a rigid should do the trick. That means this part should be rigid to that one. And we see that now the mechanism can be simulated. So keep that in mind. Before, when I try to do the same, I received that error that there is already a joint between those. So that was, let's say, maybe the operation of the joints is really important in CATIA. As we can see, we could have that defined as a rigid body and worked, but we had to initially add that over there. Now we're gonna see how this will simulate. So I'm gonna rotate this minus 80 and we're gonna see how this will open, and we have the possibility to check the simulation over here with the edit simulation. So this works, let's say, as intended. We stopped at minus 80, so we won't have a collision over here because let's say the design of this gripper is not that great. And if we won't be careful with that, we can clog it over there. Okay, hit cancel for the simulation, and the same workflow will be for the left side as well. So we're gonna use a lot of revolutes between these two. I'm gonna use the offset, so it will be a little bit faster. But again, I encourage you to rotate around the model, do the exact areas where we're gonna have that null offset, because that's, let's say, the correct solution to this, not to cheat with offsets. But it's not that bad if you do it. It will be faster and you can simulate it, if that's, let's say, the main intent of this. So those two axes, and I know that this will be the null value for that, where those two planes will be on the same plane, those two surfaces. Okay, we see that this one is also okay. Now we can simulate that, but only with this. We still need to connect the following component in order to see everything simulated. And now we see that over here we have a slight misaligned since we moved that initial gripper position. That will just fix by finishing the revolute, so don't worry about that. We're gonna have this revolute between that and that. We're gonna select the surface, which will be this. Okay, and we saw how that snapped back into position. This is also the reason why the gripper that I use for this case study is not perfectly aligned, in order to see how you can also move those. And now we can just go with rigid body and again have that linked. Now we can do the simulation by going to the simulation panel, mechanism. I will choose the value to be minus 80 in this case, hit enter. We're gonna see that the gripper will be opened. Click on insert, and afterwards we can have this simulated by going in a loop, so back and forth. I'm gonna click on play forward and we're gonna see how that gripper will close. If you want, we can go a little bit forward with it, so not only minus 80, we can go something like 5 degrees positive and so on. So I hope that you enjoyed this content. I will position another video similar to this one to the left, and also the channel over here to the right. So thanks for watching, see you in the next video.